Democratic strategist and author James Carville joins me. Nice to see you, James. And tell me,
thank you, Greta. Good to be on your show.
Oh, it's good to have you. The Democratic Socialists of America, are they a problem for the Democratic Party going into midterms, or an asset, or neither?
I think they're a problem. I mean, I think pretty clearly they're a problem. I think they're mostly urban-oriented. I think they're way further to the left than the average Democratic voter. But yeah, I don't have any. Yes, they are a problem.
How does the Democratic Party then? How do Democratic candidates then back away from them?
Well, I mean, they have a right to run. I wish they wouldn't use the word democratic if they're so adamant that they're not Democrats. And think of a new word. Why do you want to and why do you run in our primaries? Go do your own thing. But anybody can run. There's no internal enforcement mechanism that tells people you can't describe yourself as a Democrat or a Republican or anything that you want to. But I think these people are extremely naive. I think that a lot of people that follow them don't need to listen very closely to what they said and what the ramifications it is. But we'll see. But we've got all these tremendous congressional candidates and everything else, and we got to see how they do. But sometimes when a party is growing and getting ready to have a big year like Democrats are this year, a lot of people want to latch on and be part of the parade.
In the last 35 years, and I think I've asked a lot of people, both Republicans and Democrats, in the last 35 years, have their views changed? And most of them say, no, they have the same political views they had 35 years ago, but the two parties have changed so much that it shifts them on the continuum of whether they're liberal, conservative, or moderate. Have your views changed much in the last 35 years?
No. I mean, a little bit, not much. I mean, look, one party expanded health care to almost universal health insurance. One party brought prosperity, the likes of what we've never seen. One party balanced the budget. One party negotiated a deal in Iran to get rid of nuclear weapons. There's real substantive and accomplishment differences between the two parties. And it seems to me that we're running against a political party that has done more to advance American ideals and American prosperity than any political party in the history of the United States. But that's me. But I haven't changed my worldview a lot over 35 years. I believe that government has a real role to play in softening the harsh edges of capitalism. I think that foreign policy and diplomacy have a big role to play in America's future. I think fiscal responsibility is a cornerstone American idea. We're $40 trillion in debt. By the way, we lost a war. So just everybody understand that. The United States of America, in the year of our Lord, 2026, lost a war. And we just got to accept that. We lost. You lost, Johnny. You did. They don't care.
If history repeats itself, typically the party in power loses the midterms. That, of course, would be the Republicans this time. Elon Musk, if the reports are right, the New York Times reporting is going to dump $100 to $120 million into some ground game. Can money make that difference for any party going into this election? Will $100 million, 120 move the dial that much?
So there was a Wisconsin Supreme Court special. I think it was in the last decade, but I'm not sure. And he put, I want to say, just check me on the actual number. I think he put $50 million in one Supreme Court race, and they lost by 10 votes. They lost by 10 points, more than 10 points. If the Democrats, if he has his money, he can. Citizens United says he can put all of it he wants. I would advertise the fact that he's spending $100 million trying to buy your vote. Send him a message. Vote against it. I would actually make his $100 million donation an issue of how the Republican Party is totally overtaken by tech oligarchs. I would make that. I'd let him spend all of it. Spend more. Spend $200 million.
Well, I go through the numbers, though, and I see that there are a lot of Democrats that are big donors too. Maybe not 100, 120 million, but but it's a fact that both parties are sort of at the upper echelon. They're spending single people are spending a lot of money to dilute all the votes.
Well, I don't know if any, look, I raise money from Democrats all the time, as you well know. I work for American Bridge. Somebody got $100 million they want to throw my way. Here I am. I'm open for business.
All right, let me turn to the 2028 race, and I'm just going to pick a candidate because I mean he's not even a candidate. Nobody's a candidate at this point, but a name that you and I have discussed before, and I know you know him very well. But it's just sort of I'm just because I'm interested is because he has a resume that sort of checks a lot of boxes. Rahm Emanuel, what would be Rahm Emanuel's challenge to getting the nomination and winning? Because he checks a lot of boxes for the Democratic Party.
If he runs for president, he will likely be deemed the most qualified and experienced presidential candidate that has never been vice president or president before. Rahm's breadth of experience and knowledge is utterly stunning. Now, it's not always that voters of a party are looking for the most experienced or most knowledgeable candidate. There's not an issue that you can't talk to him about, that he doesn't understand completely, that he doesn't understand it with nuance and that he hasn't thought about. And I got to tell you, as a really close friend of Rahm's, as a Democrat, he's making me very proud. He's one of the stars of, and I take great pride in all of the wonderful accomplishments of the Clinton 92 people. And he's emerging as a real force, and I'm very happy for him.
But what he's got challenges? I mean, nobody else is talking about him, but pretty much just you and I are probably the only two talking about him right now as checking all those boxes.
Well, every time I turn the radio on or pick up an article, I'm reading about something he said. So somebody's listening to him. I sat down for an hour and a half with Jay Mort. I heard him on the Politico channel 124 on the satellite yesterday, being interviewed for God knows how long. Every time I pick up the Wall Street Journal, he's in there saying something. So I don't know, somebody's paying attention to him, and it's good because he's got smart things to say.
He seems moderate to me. Would you describe him as moderate or not?
He would not describe himself as moderate. Now, I don't. What I try to do is not describe what someone's political ideology. What I like to do is ask somebody, "What do you consider yourself?" He'd say, well, I did universal pre-K. I did the high school, educated more people, got more high school graduation rates. I did more in community. I don't know. I don't know. People say I'm a moderate Democrat. I certainly view myself as a liberal Democrat, but if you want to call me a moderate, it's not a terrible word. I don't get offended by it. But I would certainly consider my own personal ideology I would describe myself as more of a liberal than a moderate, or certainly wouldn't describe myself as a progressive in the modern sense of the word.
James Carville, thank you, and it's going to be a huge bench on both parties. So I want to bring you back and talk about the other candidates, not just Rahm Emanuel.
Absolutely, I'll be glad to talk about it. There's a lot of variety, a lot of choice out there. Thank you.
And you and I can have fun talking about it. Thank you, James.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.